Hey there, Hall HO listeners. Aaron Nabus here, and on this episode, we welcome back our good friend, Susy Botello, founder of the International Mobile Film Festival, to talk about this year's festival, which takes place April 27th and 28th, 2019 at the Marina Village in San Diego, California. We also welcome a filmmaker that we met at last year's festival, Seth Dacio. He submitted another film for 2019, which was accepted. So we thought it would be fun to have him on to share his thoughts on the festival and also on the growing smartphone film movement. As some of you know, I'm a brand ambassador for the International Mobile Film Festival. This year, the Hall H Show is also a proud sponsor because we believe in Susy's passion and mission to promote storytelling, or rather story sharing, as she would put it, via smartphone filmmaking. We hope to see some of you at the International Mobile Film Festival 2019. For tickets and more information, please check out internationalmobilefilmfestival.com or SBP.cc. Shout out to Beau Machado, who runs the Altered Ego Cafe and Hideout inside SoCal Comics in San Diego, California, for letting us record the podcast there, and also for the awesome coffee. Also, a shout out to you, our faithful listener, for continuing to support our efforts to be the voice of independent creators for people like our guests. For this episode, filmmakers Susy Botello and Seth Dacio. Enjoy. Hey, welcome back to the Hall H Show podcast. We are at Alter Ego Cafe and Hideout at SoCal Comics here in Claremont, Mesa Boulevard. It's one of the well-known comic book shops here in San Diego, and we've gotten to know the people that work here, especially Beau Machado. He runs the cafe, so thank you to Beau for letting us record the podcast here. And today we have a really awesome podcast with the founder of the International Mobile Film Festival, Susy Botello, and one of the filmmakers, Seth Dacio. Welcome to the podcast, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're also joined by my co-host, Alex Benedicto. What's up, Alex?
How's it going?
The International Mobile Film Festival takes place Saturday and Sunday, April 27th, 28th, at Marina Village here in San Diego, and we're looking forward to it. We have, I think, Susy, we have 15 filmmakers from around the world coming about?
More than 15.
More than 15, actually, wow.
Yeah. And some of them are bringing producers and actors.
Nice. And we're going to be screening about 30 shorts, and we got 2 features, I believe.
So we've got 29 shorts. That's okay, I'm just going to correct everything today. 29 shorts and 2 feature films.
Nice. And feature films are about 90 minutes each, I think?
They're 123 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
About 90 minutes.
I'm going to correct everything. I feel bad. Sure, yeah.
For the past few years, we've had Susy on, and we've had Hot Nerd Girl on here, and we've upgraded this year to invite one of the filmmakers, Seth Dacio.
Actually, I'm going to correct myself. An hour and 23.
Okay. So, welcome to the show, Seth.
Thank you.
It's kind of cool because I want to sort of get the perspective of someone who's actually submitted a film and who's actually returning. I want to get your impressions on, how it was for you last year. So we'll go into that a little bit. But maybe we can go a little bit into the origin story for both of you as creators and filmmakers. Susan's been on here a few times, but it's kind of cool to, I guess, maybe you can sort of recap briefly on how your creative journey was to becoming a filmmaker. And especially when it comes to smartphones.
Yeah, sure. I'll try and be really brief. So basically, we're going on our 8th edition of the International Mobile Film Festival. And we're actually also celebrating 10 years since I launched it in 2009.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you want to bring another birth date type thing, then I'll bring up that S. Botello Productions is turning or just turned last month in teenager, 13 years. So anyways, the film festival is happening April 27th and 28th It always happens on the very last weekend. For those of you who ever wonder, like each year, I wonder when it's going to be this year. Last weekend of April. And this guy next to me, Seth, actually was there last year as well. He was a minor when he first submitted a film, but now he's 18, right? 19?
I turned 19 a couple days ago.
That's right. We share the same birthday, remember?
Yeah.
You turned 19 in 2019?
In 2000.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. I turned, 2019, yeah.
Yeah, because your birthday, so Aaron's birthday and Seth's birthday was April 4th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, same birthdays. That's pretty cool.
It's funny because we did a podcast up in WonderCon, and one of the guests on there, his birthday was April 4th too.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So you're telling us about your.
So basically, I created this film. It's called the International Mobile Film Festival, mobile media, basically. But I focused on the one device because my whole goal with this is to create an equal arena where everybody, no matter whether they're a professional or not, gets to compete, but only using the same device. But I don't care about the model. If I did that, I think the manufacturers would have no real competition there, But any model, any make of a smartphone qualifies. And we just threw in another little addition last year too, which was 10% of your total footage could be shot with, you could provide aerial shots instead of just throwing your phone up in the air, hit record. But other than that, it's been exciting because when we first launched this in 2009, there were a few people experimenting with it, but they were mainly just doing it for online, So it took a couple years, like 3 years actually, to find people who were seriously making films, but not just thinking about them online because, I wanted them to be on the big screen. I wanted to give those filmmakers and the entire idea the same respect as any other filmmakers would get with any camera, And the only way to do that was to stick to my guns, like literally, and say, no, I'm not doing this. Until I get a venue and can show them on the big screen. And where do you find a red carpet in San Diego, by the way, that kind of a thing. So it's been growing. It's been growing every year, and we've got some friends who are also, they became friends, because they were also into this. Meaning they were either creating films or creating venues for filmmakers all over the place. One of the most how should I say this, continuously passionate friends is started out in New Zealand, Max Schlesser with Mina, and we knew each other since before the film festival. Along with Vesna Ristovska, our other brand ambassador.
Hello, Vesna.
Like Aaron. These two, she was like our liaison between the mobile festival and the International Mobile Film Festival. And Max actually started out with partnering with us when we started the Mobile Film School, which we announced in the first film festival. So, I just wanted to give a shout out to Max. He's now in Australia, Melbourne. And we plan to do a podcast with him about a new program that he's got going with a university in New Zealand. So, that's the suspense.
Cool.
But yeah, that's brief enough, right?
Yeah, it's brief
okay.
enough. Seth, happy birthday once again.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. As Susie, mentioned earlier, you just turned 19, and last year, obviously you were 18. You're still in high school, I believe.
I go to Palmer College.
No, I mean last year you were in high school.
Last year, high school. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess before we get into your experiences going to last year's Mobile Film Festival, talk to us about how you got started on your creative path.
All right. So it started way back in elementary school. I actually happened to do background acting when I was a kid. I background acted in TV shows like Lie to Me and The Cleaners, and specifically on the TV show Lie to Me, I was really interested on the set design and the cameras and the people working behind the scenes. I was not as interested in front of the camera, so I started 1 year later in 5th grade. I started making my own home movies with my sisters and my family, and I would edit on iMovie 09, and then, and yeah.
Cool. And
So he was a star in front of the camera. He moved behind it.
how was it? Like, I mean, obviously, growing up, like, I remember for me growing up, like when it came to like technology, and my parents would always be, hey, can you fix this? Can you make sure this works? I mean, was it the same with you, with your parents, or?
Yeah, I was like the techie in my family too. Over time, I learned more. But back then, elementary school, like I would be the one who helped out with like the film part, like the iMovie stuff. I was interested in like when Snow Leopard came out, like Snow Leopard came out, and then that's when iMovie 09 came out. That's how I got into iMovie too. And over time, I started getting interested in the phones and all that Apple made. And nowadays, whenever my family needs help on like a phone issue or like a laptop or a desktop issue, like I can help you out.
Now, why did you think that making a movie on a smartphone was something that you could do?
Because it's accessible and the quality is like just as good as olden. Like it's the quality like for the new iPhone 10s and all that. Like it's just as good as a low end DSLR or point and shoot camera. When I filmed this film for this film festival, I used iPhone 7, and even then it shoots 4K. It only had one camera, a singular wide angle lens, but now like the iPhone 10s that came out last year, it comes with like portrait mode. You could use apps that allow you to mess with depth of field and all that, so you could really simulate with the software and hardware of the phones same type of quality you would get in a point and shoot.
And I guess we can sort of maybe go into your experiences last year. How did you hear about the festival, first of all?
I think back in my freshman year or sophomore year, I saw online like, I want to look up some film festivals, and I happened to stumble across the International Mobile Film Festival. And 2 years later, I think 2 years later, junior year, I submitted to the film festival in 2018, and went there when I was a senior. But yeah, I knew about it 2 years before because I was interested in finding a various amount of film festivals, such as like mobile film festivals and regular documentary film festivals abroad. Yeah.
And I met you on Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, because he shared a movie. Remember the one when you were in school?
Yeah.
I have a good memory, Seth. And we met there. And so I followed him immediately, and just started retweeting your stuff. And I think we even messaged each other a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I do reach out to people.
I mean, I think community outreach is such an important thing.
Well, yeah, especially even if you have short arms like me, right? Yeah, with social media, it's really, really possible. And there's a lot of people that stand off, and they'll judge a Twitter account or something like that. Just to give you an example, it's like, it's only got like 3 followers. That person must. I don't mean to say that, but that person must suck. And it's like I don't do that. I don't judge people by the numbers of followers that they have, and I hope no one's judging me by that too.
Hopefully nobody's judging us either.
Right? But yeah, it's about their interest. You can go on any Twitter and just scroll down their feed, and you can see what they're interested in, and we're all connected, right? So
yeah.
And last year your movie was a travel movie, right?
Yeah.
the travel type of video, yeah. But this year it's a raw type of mix with documentary and vlog type of style I made about one of my friends, best friends, in high school. He's a golf. He was in the varsity golf team in my high school, and I wanted like a run and gun guerrilla type of film, just asking questions on the go while he was practicing, while he was golfing, and I wanted like the handheld type of feeling that's like in the vlogs, but also like a documentarian type of
It's like a
feeling.
It's like Blair Witch golfer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and what he did that was really cool is like, so a lot of those kinds of like documentary style films, usually they'll have an interview with somebody, even if they're following them, but then they include separate B-roll. But
Yeah.
your B-roll was basically a part of the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I think is really the concept of vlogging. You know, instead of inserting stuff in afterwards,
Yeah.
right? Am I?
Yes. True.
Cool.
So do you have plans to I guess, explore vlogging a little bit more?
I tried a short vlog type of thing myself,
Mhm.
but I don't think my personality is like, I didn't feel like I was the vlogging type. So maybe in the future I could do like similar to what I submitted this year,
Mhm.
like a vlogging type, but showing someone else, I guess, like another version of a vlog documentary or vlogmentary.
Sure. I mean, you don't always have to be in front of the camera. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of them out there that are pretty prolific, that they're just behind the scenes, and you never know who that person
Yeah.
is, but they have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So
Yeah.
it is possible.
Yeah.
It just depends on the content, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you have any advice for people, wanting to create their own smartphone movies?
For sure, with the new phones, you need a portable charger. Because on
Yeah.
this film, it was iPhone 7, so that was like the first phone without the headphone jack.
Uh-huh.
And I was using the Rode Video Micro.
Mm.
And when I connected it using the dongle with the Lightning to 3.5 adapter, it took up a lot of battery because it was using the power from my phone. So I had to make sure every time I stopped recording, I just unplugged it and slept my phone just to make sure the battery wasn't dying. So like overall, when I was filming it, I only had maybe 20 minutes of footage or 30 just because of the battery. Yeah.
Now, how long did it take for you to the planning stages to finish the movie?
Actually, for this one, it was 3 hours of filming. Not filming. 3 hours of going through the course with him, and then when I got home, downloaded it and then edited it for maybe 2 to 3 hours, and yeah, maybe one day pre-production, production, and post-production.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, people should be making movies all the time, right?
Yeah.
Time is money, especially in this industry. You know, so yeah.
I guess we can throw the conversation back to the festival this year. Susie, I mean, do you want to sort of maybe highlight a few of the movies and some of the people who will be showing up?
Yeah, and do you mind if I throw in something else that's happening that's really interesting?
Not at all.
There's every year as I get closer to the film festival, I start plotting this. Not like it's, a crime or anything, but I start plotting the film festival literally at the film festival, right? So this year I'll already be plotting it while you're there and things like that. But it doesn't matter how long it takes. Near the end, of once the submissions have been, finished and all that stuff. You remember last year, Brian McLean, that's right, with his film that came in literally the day after I cut the cord on that, right? But because I opened the door to him to presenting it at the film festival, because we got some feature-length films, but we didn't get anything that was, at that level yet. And I imagined that would happen for a few years. And so it was great to have him there. And then he brought Tim
Russ.
Tim Russ. I'm drinking coffee, so I'm starting to mellow out.
I think Brian's movie was Killer's Requiem.
Yeah, the Killer's Requiem.
Yeah, Killer's Requiem.
Requiem.
It was sort of like a Requiem.
Yeah, I'm horrible at this.
And it's sort of like a rock opera fantasy or something like that.
Yeah, it was really wild, but it was good, and it had a good production value to it. It had a lot of locations. He had actors that came from. The other thing is he also involved the guild with that as well, and yeah, it was really cool. So this year, what happened was, and this was months after we cut the submissions. We had some people contact us, some actors, and one of the executive producers that contacted me about a film that was shot. When you mentioned the iPhone 7, they shot it on an iPhone 7.
Dang.
It's 85 minutes. It's a feature film, and it's called Blue Moon. And so when the executive producer called me, his name is Rich Weiser. He didn't call me. He messaged me on LinkedIn. So for all of you who don't think LinkedIn, get on there. But yeah, he messaged me and said, there's some actors that want to get a hold of you about your film festival, and they shot this film and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So we started an email thing, and it turns out that two of the actors were in Lord of the Rings, and anybody who knows me, that's like the most epic movie for me,
Right.
There's Star Wars and all that stuff, but like Lord of the Rings to me, it's like I can stay on the planet.
That's your jam right there.
Yeah, right. So I was really excited about it, except for we have rules. At the film festival. And so I just could not say, well, because it's yes, you can submit your film. So I couldn't do that. But what I did was there's a podcast on our podcast, my podcast, the SBP podcast. Do you mind? We're not competing.
No, I've been a guest on there.
You've been my co-host, actually. But yeah, in that podcast, this episode 54 that's out right now is with the director, Steph Harris. And also there was Mark Hadlow and Jed Brophy, who were the two actors. And I've got another podcast coming up, which is with Jed Brophy. That'll be out next Wednesday. But what I wanted to say was that movie was shot, the director is a cop in New Zealand, and he actually shot this lonely gas station in the dark, all lit up with his iPhone.
Oh, dang.
And he thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And he wrote a screenplay from that. And he shared the photo, and the screenplay with one of the actors. And, what do you think about this, And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And so I think it was like 6 days or something like that in that one location that they shot it in. And I just want to bring that up because I want to share with your listeners and anyone who's on here right now who is still doubting where this is going. You've got Steven Soderbergh, and now you have these actors from, they may not be Hollywood actors, they're...
Well,
but they've worked on Hollywood films.
Yeah.
These are people connected to, Peter Jackson and all that. And so we're looking at, and we don't even know about more. I know there's more, and I know there are more that are interested in this and that are working on this. But they're not necessarily looking for mobile film festivals to put their films in. And some of them are actors who want to revamp their game, and what a better way than to produce your own film and star in it and so forth to get your name back out there. Because, they're branding, self-branding like you and I talked about in your podcast, Seth.
Yeah.
So this is a great way. And so now now we're getting back to that equal arena that I was talking about earlier, where now you've got, you can literally go to bed at night if you shot a film, on your phone, and that's all you have, right? You can go to bed at night and say, hey, there are Hollywood people shooting films with the same camera, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's really inspiring and it's telling at the same time. But this year we have these 2 feature films that are coming up, and I've done podcasts with them. One of them is a comedy horror. This is the filmmaker called. If you go to our website, and go to the news page, just all the details are there about all the films that we have. And we also have another one that is a community story. That is a film that you have to be a part of that community or culture to share that story, as opposed to having somebody else coming in and sharing your story. We're going to be featuring that. We also had the Global Mobile Film Awards winner of the Best Experimental Film. He's also Matteo Tibiletti. I love saying his name. He's coming in from Italy to award an honorary award from the Global Mobile Film Festival from the actual winners. So him and you remember Brian Hennings from last year?
Yeah.
So he and Brian selected a film from only the attending filmmakers. And they are one of those attending filmmakers. It could be you, Seth, is going to win an award from them. And Matteo is going to actually present that award during the award ceremony, too. So
cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of things. And then also I have to mention these couple more people, if you don't mind.
No, take your time.
Well, no.
I'm not going to cut you off like the Oscars.
Don't want to turn this into another one of our 2-hour podcasts.
Or 3 hours.
So John Woosley is coming. He made a film called Alex and the Firefly. Did I get that right? I hope I did. I'm so sorry, John, if I got that wrong. But basically, it's a longer film. It's not a feature-length film. It's like, I think I made him cut it down to like 15 minutes, but he liked it, so that's good. So he's going to screen that, and he's coming out from Missouri, and he's going to give present a workshop on mobile filmmaking. Okay. As well. So, and he's really thorough. I did a podcast with him, and he could drive you through, give you the tour, basically, of from beginning, with storyboarding and everything, all the way through post-production. And he's an experienced filmmaker, so he knew how to take the phone and recreate what he would have done as a professional using the phone, like a lot of tricks and stuff like that.
Cool.
And the other guest speaker, and they're both going to be presenting on Sunday before we do the Q&A with all these guys, is C.K. Golding, with 2 I's, Golding. And he's a really cool personality.
He's from the UK, right?
Yeah, he's from the UK, from Sheffield. Got to give a shout out to Sheffield in UK. He has a film that is going viral. It's called 61 Hugs.
Oh. Really?
And you've heard of it?
I heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, see? So that film, so he's coming, so we can all give him a hug. You'll feel like it, I tell you. It's a really moving. Did you see it?
I didn't watch it, but I heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's, yeah, he's coming.
Sweet.
All the way from there, so.
He seems like a character, I mean.
Yeah, well, he's, I think he does PR and stuff like that, but the thing is, like, that whole film is a challenge for him, and I don't want to say too much, because that would be putting words in his mouth. I think the best thing to do is to come to the film festival. If you have to get on a canoe to get into San Diego, there's a will, there's a way, right?
And I meant character in a good way. He seemed pretty gregarious.
Yes, no, yeah. That's why I say he's like a personality, and he's very good. I think he's very inspiring, in the way that he talks. And he's definitely a storyteller. And he has a lot of other videos on his YouTube that are really, really cool, And he just does like that man on the street type thing too. And challenges. He challenges himself and he challenges the people around him. So he's coming as well. I have to say something to these two guys sitting in front of me. I'm leaving you out for a second here, Seth.
Okay.
To Alex Benedicto and Aaron Nabuz, because I've met you guys when we were at Comic-Con doing our thing back in 2016.
Right.
And I just have to say, Aaron Nabuz came because he volunteered to everything I was doing, I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, if you need help, I'll come by. And then he's always been really good on social media, retweeting and resharing and posting and sharing and all that stuff. So he's been our brand ambassador, our second brand ambassador after Vesna. And, Hall H Show, this podcast, came through for us this year and sponsored us as well. So I just wanted to formally, publicly say thank you to both of you for doing that. It
You're
really
welcome.
means a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So.
Our pleasure.
So do you want me to name anything else?
Well,
or?
since you're already on the sponsors, do you want to go down the list?
Yeah, I'd love to. Gee, now that you asked, they're like right here, so I don't miss anybody this time. I actually, before I even start with the sponsors, there's somebody else that you connected me with, with Tracy, Hot Nerd Girl.
Yeah.
I just, every time I say that.
She's awesome.
She is.
Yeah.
She really is. And she and her group, the Star Wars
Steampunk Universe.
Yeah. This coffee's getting mellow me out. The Star Wars Steampunk Universe is coming again. This will be the third year to basically, now we've renamed the red carpet into the red carpet extravaganza,
So do I have to wear a tie?
No. You can wear whatever you want. But they're going to be part of the red carpet, and now you know better. You've had some rehearsals now, right, Seth?
Yeah.
But they're going to be a part of that. But they also decided to sponsor the film festival. So,
That's really good of them to do that.
Yeah, and if we can make that happen every year, that'd be great to have, heck, everybody sponsored. So we only have room for so many, but
Right.
still.
Well, just before you go on about Star Wars Steampunk Universe, they do a lot of work for charity.
Charities.
They do a lot of cosplay, cause for cosplay type of events, and please follow them online and support what they're trying to do out there for charity.
Yeah, actually, we did that podcast when they shared their whole story with Dude Vader.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking, I think that's why we got a little bit goofy towards the end because, it was a very heartfelt, discussion about what they do.
I mean, pretty much Dude Vader. I mean, he wears a mask, and that's his sort of identity. And, in one way, it's sort of bad because you don't know who he is. But from his perspective, it's good because it hides the tears.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's what they do, especially with the kids, at the hospitals and things like that.
Yeah.
And the 5K walks and all that.
Right.
So, but let me mention just throwing out here just a few of our sponsors. Red Giant, has been with our film festival since actually before we even launched. And they're a software company. You know about them, right,
Yeah.
Seth? Yeah. And we also have Black Box Global, which is they're for content creators. We also have you guys, the Hall H Show podcast, and we have Indiana Filmmakers Network. Also this year, they're a fiscal sponsor for us. And then we also have Film Convert. They're in New Zealand. I don't know. It's just New Zealand's just a thing now.
Yeah, they have a pretty large community of smartphone filmmakers.
Yes, because they do color grading and film grain and those kinds. It's really cool software. But I think this could be probably, I think, their third year as well at sponsoring us. And then of course there's Star Wars Steampunk Universe. Sorts of Circuitry Studios. I'm gonna make kind of a big deal with them because they were there for us last year and this year. And this year, they, one of their sister, brother, partner sponsor with them is Uncharted Regions, which is a production that they did.
Me and Alex have saw some of their panels, and it's, if you can think of an audio version of like Twilight Zone or Outer Limits.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, and we saw it at Comic-Con. Remember they did that their thing over there at the San Diego Library.
Mm-hmm.
Neil and Jaina Hofford, they're just awesome people.
They are.
They're big supporters of the film community here in San Diego locally.
And they're filmmakers in their own right.
Yeah, they are. They do audio. They do special effects. They do everything just about. I don't think they build websites, but but they do a lot, and they're really awesome people to get to know. So that's why I kind of want to make a big deal out of them. Then we also have Grip and Shoot from New York, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. We've just partnered with someone. This isn't a sponsor; it's a collaborative partner. But there's a lot of potential with this. They have gimbals, like two or three different gimbals that they, different levels.
Yeah, what are gimbals?
Yep. So gimbal, Seth, give them the geeky technical definition.
So it's a 3-axis stabilizer that allows you to stabilize your footage from the X-axis, the Y-axis, and
it's handheld.
Yeah.
It's almost like you become a drone.
Yeah. Right?
At ground level. That's my geeky input into that. Because I couldn't have done what he did. But yeah, they're very popular with filmmakers, even DSLR and GoPro, as well. But you guys seriously just use your smartphone so you can, because we want your films. But yeah, they're called Free Vision, and if you guys go to our website and go to the collaborators tab, you'll find all these there. And I'm looking right at Alex, like, go do it now. But and then click on their. I have links to their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram, their websites. And just go and check them out. Tell them Susie sent you. Yeah, we have all these things that are going on in the film festival this year, and like you said, we over doubled the filmmakers that are actually attending this year from last year.
Nice.
The tickets are on sale, and I'm serious. There's so many people coming already from the the filmmakers and stuff and guests that they're bringing and everything. So it's the space is limited.
Right.
But the cool thing is, we've got this beautiful venue over by the marina as well, and the restaurant there, the Landing Grill, they're so good.
So Friday we'll be having a meet and greet at the Landing Grill.
Yeah, we
26th. And the 27th is pretty much we'll be screening all the movies.
Yeah, the 27th is the day we're going to be screening most of the films. The feature films. We're gonna open with the first feature film. Then we're going to. We also have some other presentations that I don't want to share, but you don't want to miss them. We have some other presentations coming on Saturday as well.
Oh, okay.
And we also have one session, just because they asked me, they're like, so what time is my film coming out? I'm like, well, the films are 1 to 5 minutes, the short films. So it's very hard to be so precise with them. So we show them all in one session. And I think the session ends up being like an hour and a half or something like that with all the films. And in one of those is where we're going to have a brief presentation with Alexandra Gilosu. I hope I pronounced her name right. In her presentation is revolving around her film, The Deepest Cut, which is a personal story. Obviously, not so personal now, but it's a very inspiring story about her brother who has a disease that is deteriorating him. And I don't want to give too much into that, but she's gonna be there as well and give a presentation for everybody to help introduce everybody to community stories. So
Cool. Do you want to maybe talk about the judges?
yes, if I can do that. Thank you. So let me just give them a shout out real quick. But so I'm going to be very thorough here. I'm actually going to tell you exactly the judges for each competition because we have two competitions. One for the short films, and the other one is for the feature films. Because I definitely don't want to mix them up. Feature films should compete with feature films, right? Do we agree? They're all nodding. How cool. I
agree with you for once.
Right?
I was joking.
And the other one should, definitely. But we have, so for our two, and some of these judges are actually going to be there, okay? So we have for the feature film competition, we have, you might remember her too, by the way, because she was the actor in that first feature film mobile feature film that we had. Remember Abba Blackwell? From that film, that one that you love all the credits.
From Figment.
Figment.
Yes,
Yep.
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so she's judging the feature films. All of these judges have already done their job, so can we just give them all a round of yay? Thank you, guys. I can't do that by myself. And the other one is Raphael Corkill. And Raphael actually was one of the lead actors in Conrad Mess's film Paying Off Debts. So I don't know if you weren't there when we presented that in San Diego. That was like the year before, in 2015.
That's before my time.
Yeah. Actually, it's not Paying Off Debts. It's Time to Pay Off Debts. It's time. That's a big film. It's gotten him a lot of publicity, and we awarded Conrad Mess the Best iPhone Filmmaker Award.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I know you have, and it's a great film.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Conrad? What have you been up to? The other competition that we have for the short films, our judges are Demetrius Witherspoon. He's in Indiana, and I met him when I was there this last summer. He also is a director, writer, and producer. He's got a film that it's a series, but just go to our website, go to the MFF page or whatever, and just click on the judges and look at all that stuff up. The other one is Stephanie Riebel. She's an actor, and I actually worked with her in one of the films that I did a long time ago, 2006, but it feels like 50 years ago for me. It was a feature film. It wasn't mobile or anything like that. She's a great, great actress. The movie was called April Moon, but she's also been on 2.5 Men and all these other, appearances. So thank you, Stephanie, also, and Demetrius. Also, Anthony Motis. He has the Montes method. He teaches acting, and he's an actor from back in the day. I forgot the name of the show that he was on. He was a regular on a show, but if you look at his IMDb page on there, you'll see. And then there's Robert Cox, who we know, who's also judging the short film competition. So
cool. Sounds like
he's judged a couple times before too, actually. Yeah.
And you mentioned IMDb, and the International Mobile Film Festival is an IMDb qualifying film festival.
That's right. And I don't toot my own horn enough on that, so I decided to go ahead and make a big deal out of it on the website, because I forget to mention that. But yeah, since 2015, I believe we applied for it and it was approved, so we're officially there.
Nice. Why should somebody come and check out the film festival?
The main thing that right off the top of my head, and this is by putting myself in your listener's shoes or anybody's shoes, that's cool shoes, is basically you get one-on-one, basically. You get time for, we have a bunch of little breaks in between sessions for people to network and meet each other and connect there. And we don't like to create a big space between the attendees and the filmmakers, and there's a reason for that. We're on social media talking to strangers every day. To put a big space between an event, between the people that are presenting or the filmmakers or anything like that, and the people that are attending, it just seems like it just doesn't make sense to me. So from the perspective of you, whoever you are that is listening right now, basically you get to literally shake their hands, ask them questions, look at them in the eye, and really be inspired in a way that you can't otherwise on social media or anything like that. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why I do make a big deal of presenting all the films that are submitted that make it officially, they will all be screened at the film festival. There's no need for me to leave any of them out to put them online. Everybody gets that opportunity, even if they can't come. And so, yeah, what you're going to get out of it, first of all, you're going to meet people that, like if you go on social media and you look up the hashtag mobile filmmaking, for example, you'll see these you'll find a community of mobile filmmakers, and they all support each other and they tag each other and they retweet each other and all that stuff. I know it feels like I do spend a lot of time on Twitter though, but it's one of those mediums where you really can do that easier than on Facebook and stuff. The same thing with when you go on Instagram too, but Instagram's algorithm sucks. It really does. But so you go there and you find these people, and you'll find out that a number of them are coming to our film festivals. So they get to meet each other from the online community world, right, to coming and being in person. And how cool is it, like, if you don't know something, right, that mm-hmm. you get to ask a question, to them, because we have Q&A sessions and we have the big, Q&A panel. And then, okay, maybe you didn't get a chance to ask them there, but you know what? One of these little breaks that we have, you can always approach them and ask them. And, I'm not trying to put the filmmakers on the spot here, but, I've seen them actually show them how to do things on their own phone, as well during the festival. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that I definitely like too, is the breaks in between the discussions, because these people come from around the world, and it's just so cool to talk to them and and connect with them, and even after the festival, I'm still friends with a lot of them that came.
Yeah, there's that personal. It's a very intimate event. I'm not trying to present our film festival like it's Sundance or Cannes or something like that. There's definitely an opportunity for that. The other thing is, it's not a week-long festival or something like that. Some of these guys can make it because it's a weekend film festival. So they'll fly in and then they'll fly out and they go back to their other lives, their work or whatever it is they have to do. And so they're able to come out because of that and be a part of the entire event. I just sent an email to all of them and said, just so you know, prepare yourselves, because this is not your typical film festival. Yes, we roll out the red carpet, we show the films on the big screen. What do you think, Seth?
I like the red carpet, yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the film festival not being the typical film festival, what would you say stands out the most? Not to take your job,
just the connections with people from around the world. I got to talk to people from Australia, other people from San Diego as well that I never knew that were nearby me, and yeah.
Yeah, we have somebody also coming out again from Because remember Chuck Copeland?
Yeah.
Chuck, you just got a shout out.
Well, I'll throw another shout out to Chuck because we connected at the festival last year.
Yeah.
And later on, I think early year, late last year, he messaged me on Facebook asking if I knew anybody, because he was in the comic book industry.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I knew any artists out there who was available. So I referred him to my good friend Keithan Jones from Kid Comics, and they connected. And Keithan ended up working on something. With
that's
him.
what he was talking about. Because I was wondering, because he messaged me too, and I was trying to reach out to different artists too, and I was like, yeah, but it should be Aaron. But yeah, that's awesome to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll take a little break from talking about the festival, and we'll go to our Thunder Round, because what would a Hall H show be without a Thunder Round, right? So, Alex, why don't you take it away?
All right. Seth, if you could have a meal with anyone dead or alive, who would it be with, and where would you eat at?
Steve Jobs at... Ooh, it's a tough one. Veggie Grill.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. How about you, Susie?
Oh, I was just thinking about zombies. When you said dead or alive, I'm like picturing zombies. I'm like, I don't know who would look like the best looking zombie. No, I'm just kidding. So dead or alive, I would say Heath Ledger, just because I wish he was still alive. But to me, as an actor, as a storyteller, as a creative person, plus after I don't really read too much about actors or celebrities too much in their personal life, because I know that for the most part, a lot of the media is not realistic. It's a thing. But from what I found out after he died, there's so many stories out there about him that I find there's commonality between some of his little things and myself, and that always helps to connect, like with people that you've never met. You're going, oh, we have something in common, like you and Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
All right, next question. If you could teleport to anywhere in the world right now, where would you go, and why did you pick that place?
Susie, you could go first.
So, if they're listening, I'd like to have the first film festival in Mars.
Ooh.
I think the red carpet would kind of blend in with the planet color scheme, but no, but I'd like to somehow make that happen in my lifetime. To see a film festival, a mobile film festival. I mean, how much more mobile can you get than go all the way to Mars, right?
Cool.
I would teleport to the International Space Station and take a time lapse and then teleport back.
Nice.
Cool.
That'd be your submission for next year.
Yeah.
All right. If you were president of the United States, what kind of artwork would you hang up in the Oval Office?
You go first this time.
All right. Like a specific type of artist or the type of art?
Both.
Both. All right. Landscapes, because I just enjoy landscape art, like whether it's painted or ceramics or if it was photographed.
Is there a favorite artist that you like?
I'm not that much aware with artists.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, don't ask me questions like that. They'll get all difficult.
Okay. How about you, Cindy?
I would have to have like a montage almost of different, from comics, like those ones from Spain that I was showing everybody here.
The Tabellos?
Yeah, the Tebeos,
Yeah.
the comic books from Spain. But I would say also probably it would be close to the landscape. You know what would really be cool? To have like this huge mural of like Native American, with their colorful costumes and nature and everything around it. Plus, it would be symbolic in some way, too. To maybe some goals I would want to set if I was to take on being a president. And definitely some Star Wars stuff and Lord of the Rings. And yeah, it would be a montage. I can't. Sorry.
You can alternate throughout the year, I guess.
Yeah, it would be like a digital thing that just loops around with different.
Cool. All right. Next question. What 3 movies could you watch over and over and not get tired of?
3 movies? Okay. So there's definitely, just pick one, Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit was really good, by the way. I would pick that. Another one, man, I just watched one the other night, but I've been watching Netflix to get my mind off the film festival over the last week or so. There was, just forgot the name. Everything that's popping up on the tip of my tongue, it just disappears really quick. I've watched The Shining a number of times as well. So, and it's on my queue. Like, I'm going to watch that again.
Here's Johnny.
I know. Because that movie is so epic. The third would probably be the original Star Wars. Just the first one that came out. The original, which is smack in the middle of the whole story.
Right. Can't go wrong with that one. Seth?
For mine, it would be number 1. My favorite movie is Super 8, directed by J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg. I just really like the concept they made on that movie. Second one would be the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah,
it was very
beautiful.
Very beautiful, very artistic. I like the style they made for that one. And for my third, I don't know if it qualifies, but it hasn't came out yet. The new Avengers movie, Avengers Endgame.
There you go.
I would, even though it didn't came out yet, I would definitely watch it more than one time.
No one should even bother with that weekend. It come out the same weekend as my film festival.
Yeah. I already got tickets.
I mean, are you just gonna get wait in line for days, or?
So when are you gonna watch it?
Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not Friday, don't worry.
Right? That would be funny.
Let's see, last question. What statement would you have Bart from The Simpsons write on the chalkboard?
What statement? The red carpet is in your pocket.
There you go. That's a good one.
I would say persist.
What is it?
Persist.
Persist.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good one.
Seize the day.
I guess we'll go back to the International Mobile Film Festival. Is there anything else that you'd like our audience to know about it?
I'll tell you what I'll do. If any of you, now that I've fixed the contact form on our website, contact me and say that you've listened to this podcast, Aaron's podcast, and email me and say, I really want to go to your film festival. Email me, tell me that, and I will give you a 50% discount on your tickets.
Ooh.
If there's any left, of course, but there should be some left.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
And
again, we should mention the dates.
We should. Do it again.
Yeah, April 27th, which is Saturday, and April 28th, which is obviously Sunday.
Well, we didn't quite. We touched on Saturday's happenings, and you want to touch on Sundays.
Sunday we're having those presentations with CK and John, but we are also going to have all the filmmakers do a Q&A session. We're also going to have the red carpet extravaganza with Star Wars Steampunk Universe, and then we're going to have a really nice award ceremony that'll be in the next room over, actually.
And these are pretty full days. I mean,
they are. That's why I said my way of easing people from this packed program is basically those networking little breaks. They're not just for networking. Obviously, you could go use the restroom, go get a bite, and they're about a half hour long each, But we also have a good 1 hour break also, so people can eat at that wonderful restaurant.
so the times.
So I decided to make it simple for both days. We start at 10 a.m. and then we end at 9 p.m.
Wow, it's a long
and
day.
we have a raffle. We have a raffle at the end, but the time goes by quickly.
Yeah.
Remember the Lord of the Rings when it was 3 hours long?
It'll go by fast, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going, but I could watch more. It's kind of like that. No, I wish. But it's basically, the time goes by fast.
Because we're having fun.
Yeah.
Before we close out the
My
show, we have round of the podcast where we do superhero shout-outs. Is there anybody or group of people that you want to say thank you to?
Yeah, I mean, I've already named you guys.
You can name us again if you want.
Well, definitely. There's a number of people, but you know what? I'll just keep this really simple and say I got to thank my parents. Not because, birth and all that stuff. I mean, that's silly right now. But basically because they've always told me to stop this, quit doing this, because they care about me, and like I said, it's been 10 years. But they are, at the same time, they have supported me, throughout, in their own way. And so I have to say thank you because to both my parents, Uris and Chado. I'll just say it like that so people know. But basically because they, even if they disagree with me on something, they'll still support me. And that's how you know your parents really love you. It's not so much about setting a bunch of rules. It's just like, we totally disagree with you. We don't think you should do this. But if you really want to do this, and we know you love doing this, we're going to support you. So,
and
yeah.
they are in Spain right now?
Yeah, they're in Spain right now. So, ole.
they live there?
Yeah, in Sevilla.
Sevilla. Which
is, if you're going to visit Spain, that's one of the people in Barcelona or Madrid right now are like, no, it's not. But it's there's so much culture there, and you're gonna find more people like me there that'll randomly talk to strangers.
You tell me about how you were used to live there and like how you used to even like the tapas,
Yeah, the food is just amazing. Like you go from street to street to street to street, and you're basically going. So you start out with like yourself, and then you pick up another person, and I don't mean like literally lifting them, but you meet them on the street corner or whatever, and then they're like, hey, what do you do? Where are you going? Want to go have a beer over here? Let's go over here because the beer is the same just about everywhere, but they have these great tapas here, and so you go there, and then you run into somebody maybe along that way or right after, and then next thing you know, you're hitting all these little tapas bars. Bars in Spain are not like the bars here. They're more, like Starbucks type places, and you're before you get to the end of this little tour, you've got like a gang. You're all walking around to these restaurants, and it just gets fun and funner. And you've had a lot of beers, maybe, but you've also eaten good food, and you're also walking. So if you're gonna party, that's the best way to party.
Nice. Seth, is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Thank you for having me on the Holly Show. Thank you for the International Film Festival. Thank you to my family for being supportive, and thank you to any artist or filmmaker who has inspired me or has helped me throughout my journey.
Awesome.
I'm going to thank those too for inspiring him. All those filmmakers that are shooting with their phones, the ones, and I'm going to say this, I haven't told you yet, but there was a filmmaker that was coming out who had his dream has been for several years to actually come out. He submitted a film, I can't remember which year, but it was years ago. And ever since, he's been following our film festival. And this year he made it into our film festival. And I'm not going to name him or anything, but I just wanted to say that he's not going to get to come because his little visa thing, whatever it is that they give out, he couldn't make it, so our governments let us down sometimes, darn it.
I think I have a feeling, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and so he's not going to be able to make it, and it really, I know people, when I say I'm sorry and I feel for you and things like that, they're like, yeah, whatever, but it's true.
He would have been an awesome addition because of his perspective on the human condition.
Yeah, so... the whole thing about it is everybody in our film festival, if you can come or if you can't come, you're still a star in our film festival. It's like I was saying earlier, like Seth's film, right? You made it in just like everybody else into an official film, right? The
Yeah.
official selection. So your film is definitely going to screen at the film festival, and we're going to name you. And we, like we've been promoting the filmmakers. We actually asked all of them to send us a little video about themselves, and so then I went and I edited each one of those, and I, put it on our YouTube page and have been promoting them. And whether you can, coming is definitely, you're going to make friends in our film festival. You're going to inspire each other. You learn from each other, but you also get to connect with people and see the reaction when your film is out there from people, and then they will come up to you, and say, your film inspired me, and things like that, which is just awesome. It's part of the reason why you even make a film, it's for that. So if you can, definitely come. But all of you who know you can't, maybe you're making your film out in a country where they're not going to let you out to come to San Diego, or any other countries around you, or whatever it is. Just know we love you. We really do. And I know Aaron has a lot of conversations with me to know that I'm speaking from the heart, that when you submit a film, even if it doesn't get chosen, I care about you. And you have a friend here in San Diego who's doing this, and I have a lot of passion for the storytelling part. And to me, you're a storyteller, and you're willing to put some sweat into that, into creating a film. And
that's the theme of this year's festival.
Yep.
Stories.
Stories is the theme. And so that was the last thing I wanted to say, is to share that story, because I don't want people to be discouraged by that. And I want to encourage people, even the ones who maybe didn't make a Hollywood type film and don't think their films are good enough to be in this film festival. It's like, I love the mix, of all the films. And there's potential. How do you know someone is not going to be the next Steven Spielberg, who starts out with this little silly little film or something like that? If there's a story and there's potential and there's a structure in there, most likely you're going to get in.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we look forward to attending this year's festival. As always, we're ready to be inspired.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. I'm so excited. And at the same time, it's like, wait. It's only 2 weeks away. It's
just about, yeah.
But we've got it all ready. We've already ordered the trophies, got the red carpet, the venue's set. It's like, it's all about just getting everybody. I still don't know what I'm going to wear, but whatever. That's a girl thing.
Yeah, I guess, where can people find the both of you online?
Start with you.
Oh, okay. I'm on most social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all with the handle Seth D Films, and Facebook as well. And I think that's all of it. Yeah.
Cool. And do you have any future projects that you'd like our audience to know about?
Recently I made another documentary on one of my friends who's a graphic designer. That's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SSDfilms. A new project that I'm currently editing is another, a painter, a friend of mine. It's another vlog documentary type of style. And that's so far, that's my current project so far. Yeah. Cool.
Look forward to watching those.
Thank you.
Susie.
He does a lot of stuff throughout the year. Well, there's the International Mobile Film Festival.com. That's pretty much the best website I can give you. Or you can do the short version, which goes SBP.cc. You had it memorized, Aaron. That's the short way to get into our website.
It's good for sharing.
Yeah. Like if you're in a car driving around on the freeway and somebody's next to you and you're like, oh, you should make a movie. Go to SBP.cc.
Cool. I guess we'll close out the show. Alex?
All right. Thank you for tuning into the Hall H Show podcast, where we love showcasing independent creators like smartphone filmmakers Susy Botello and Seth Dacio. We are looking forward to this year's International Film Festival, so you can join us and meet filmmakers from around the world, and also share in the excitement of the red carpet extravaganza. If you support our mission to be the voice of independent creators, we'd love a rating, hopefully 5 stars, and comment on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, please share our episodes using the hashtag Hall8Show. Please share and make it a point to visit Artist Alley and Small Press at all the comic conventions you plan on going to this year. Thank you.
And thank you, audience. And one last thank you to Beau Machado. He operates the Alter Ego Cafe here at SoCal Comics, where we are recording this podcast. Please come by, buy some comics, buy some coffee, and check out SoCal Comics. And
It's like a museum.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, peace, cheers, and talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.